All right, what's up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast weekly real estate tip. And today I'm here to talk to you about how to ensure that your buyer clients never have buyer's remorse. Look, I've been doing this for 20 years. I have spent insane amounts of money on coaches, conferences, going to different trainings. And for whatever reason, I've like never heard anybody throughout my career talk about this. And I get it. It's like, yeah, we need to grow our business. We need clients. We need commissions. We need closings. We need all of that. But at the end of the day, like, what are we doing this for? We are doing this to serve and support our clients at the highest possible level. And I'm telling you right now, if you always put clients before commissions, you always do what's right by the client, take great, amazing care of your clients, and you truly help them find exactly what they're looking for, and we make it about them, your business is going to grow exponentially through repeat referral business, through, just overall client satisfaction. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the customer. It's all about the client. And I've had a very strict rule throughout my whole entire industry, whole entire career of clients always before commissions. Now that I'm not saying that means, discounts or commission activities. What I mean by this is always doing what's right by the customer first. So I don't know, maybe I get a client under a deal. Maybe I need that deal to close to pay my bills. But maybe, I don't know, we find something structural wrong with that house. Maybe it's in the client's best interest to get them in the house. I'm like, dude, you get your client out of that damn house. You worry about how to pay your bills otherwise. Too many people in our industry are so focused on commissions, have commission breath, people can smell that a million miles away. So today I really want to talk to you about, hey, dude, if you have buyer clients that love their home, that you're truly solving a problem for them, your business will exponentially grow through repeat business, through referral business, through all of these different things, which I think that you guys can all get and understand, the importance of that, right? So then from there, how do we make sure that people don't have buyer's remorse? Because it is our job to be the unemotional real estate professional. I see so many in this industry that are like, whatever the client wants. No, dude. I mean, yeah, it's about what the client wants, but it's so easy to get caught up, to get emotional, for them to not think clearly. They say that buying and selling a home is the second most stressful thing in people's lifetime, outside of like a death of a loved one. So they've got all these stresses. It's our job to make sure that we're guiding them. It's our job to make sure that we're supporting them, guiding them, throughout this process. So it all starts with nailing a highly effective buyer consultation, which I'm going to break this down and walk you through how to lead this process. And again, make sure that you're getting your buyer, like you're truly solving their goals so they don't have that buyer's remorse. If you look at the last survey that I saw, and this is like, from like 2020 to like 2024, was something like 84% of buyers wish they never bought. They had regrets of buying. They had buyer's remorse. I do not ever want to have a buyer client that has buyer's remorse. I want to do everything that I can on my part to control it. They don't have that buyer's remorse. And again, I'm going to walk you through today of how to go out there and exactly specifically do this. Now, real quick before I do so, if you are a real estate agent, if you are a real estate team leader, or you're a real estate brokerage owner, and you want to learn more about possibly partnering with me at EXP, where you get 100% full free access to all my coaching, all my mentorship, all my support, as well as my business partner, Mike Sherrard, who's the best in the industry, hands down, at social media, YouTube, AI, where you get all full access to all of our coaching, support, mentorship, as well as any of your agents, all for free. You want to learn more about what this possible partnership could look like, there's going to be a link below, whether it's in the show notes or in the description, depending on where you're watching or listening to this. There's going to be a link below where you can schedule a 100% confidential, 100% zero pressure Zoom call with me. What do I mean by zero pressure? I'm not going to try to recruit you. I'm not going to push you, not going to pressure. I'm just going to walk you through. Hey, here's everything that we have. Here's how we work. Here's how we operate. Here's how we can, potentially support you at a higher level and accomplish your real estate goals. Answer any questions that you have at the end of that call. If you feel it's a better overall fit to grow your organization, awesome. If not, that's okay too. We can still be friends. You have my word. You'll never be pushed, never be pressured. That's not my style. So if that's something that you want to do, it's going to be you and me on that Zoom call. So if you want to go ahead and schedule that, there's a link below for you to go out there and schedule that. Okay, so how do we do this? And all the things I'm going to talk to you about here today also apply to sellers, but the remorse seems to kick more up on the buy side, right? So it all starts with a buyer consultation and making sure that you're nailing a very effective buyer consultation. So most in this industry, I see them having a difficult time going in and asking for buyer consultations because they're thinking about the consultation just being all about them. Now, we know why the consultation is important to us. Like, we know that, what's the stat? Like, it's something like 88% of buyers go with the first agent that they meet with and connect with in person. So we know why it's important to us, but I don't look at the buyer consultation as being anything for me. It's about the customer or the potential customer, right? It's about them. How can I possibly serve and support anybody at the highest level with the biggest financial decision that they're probably going to make in their lifetime? if I don't do an in-depth consultation and identify what their goals are, what their expectations are, what's most important through this process. So I'm going in for the buyer consultation. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for them. Because like it also might be in their best interest not to buy. Part of buyer's remorse is, like I'm always upfront with people. Hey, and I always tell them, I'm setting that buyer consultation of, hey, look, just so you know, the sole purpose of this meeting is to make sure you have all the information to make your best informed decision. Look, at the end of this meeting, you might decide that, hey, homeownership isn't for you, not now, not never. And if that's your decision, that is okay. You might decide that homeownership is for you, but now isn't the time. That is okay too. Hey, you may even decide that now is the time to buy. You want to buy, now is the time to buy, but maybe you don't feel comfortable with using me as your real estate agent. That's okay too. Because the sole purpose of this meeting is to provide you with the information that you want or that you need to make the best informed decision for yourself, for your family. And here's what I'm telling you. If you guys lead with this style, this approach, you will set way more appointments, right? Because if we look at people today, they want the information that they want and need to make their best informed decision for themselves and for their families, but they want to do it in a safe, non-pushy, non-pressure environment. So give people what they want, you get what you want. But then through there, right, again, I'm going to really do a deep dive and a breakdown. So like half of my buyer consultation, so let's just say it's an hour long. Yeah, I'm going to be walking them through the process. Here's the process in the state of Arizona of home buying. Here's the financial investment. Here's all those things. So they're well educated on that. But half of it is me going through with them what I call my dream home form. So in that dream home form, I let them know right up front that, hey, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. And some of these questions might seem repetitive. Some might even seem a little silly, a little odd, but I promise you there's intent and a reason for each of these. In order for me to serve and support you at the highest level with your real estate goals, I need to know exactly what you want it, why it's important to you, what's most important to you, what your goals are, what your expectations are. So I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. And then we start doing a deep dive into those questions. So somebody's like, well, yeah, we want a, large master suite with a large master, walk-in closet. Well, like what's large? How do they define that? What's large to them might be different than to me. So I ask a ton of follow-up questions on this. And I'm going through this, everything from location, to every feature of the property. Might sound silly, but maybe like, oh, I want an RV gate. For those of you who don't know what an RV gate is, at least in my markets, is a double-sided gate, so like an 8-foot gate versus just a small kind of 4-foot gate. But then from there, like, okay, well, why do they want that? Is it just access? Maybe they have a small trailer they want to park back there. Maybe they just want more room between them and their neighbors. That's common. But maybe they do have an RV, or maybe they do have a boat. Well, then I need to know, okay, well, what kind of RV? What kind of boat? Do you have a bigger boat? Do you have a tower? Yeah, right. That might be an HOA violation. Like I want to find these things out, to know, okay, do we need to find a non-HOA or an HOA that's okay with an RV or a larger boat? Or, I want to find this stuff out up front so we don't get into it and then get blindsided when we get the CC&Rs from the HOA and whatnot there. So I'm asking these questions and I'm going through these questions. What I'm looking through is what I'm looking for is what I call bullet holes versus Band-Aids. So Band-Aids are, yeah, I'm not saying that they're things that aren't important to them. And when I use this term superficial, I'm not saying that, oh, they're shallow and that's not what I mean here. What I mean by superficial, like the Band-Aids are, things that are going to wear off and wane off over time. Like you guys have all done, like you buy a new car. Like, dude, that car is sick and you get the new car smell and you love it for 3 months, 6 months. Then you hit a point where now it's just a car to you. So it's like, okay, like maybe they're telling me, hey, I want these types of flooring, this types of countertops. And I'm not saying those things are important, but those usually aren't the bullet holes. So maybe they're telling me, hey, I want all of these, or the Band-Aids, right? So they're telling me, hey, I want, I want this type of flooring, this type of cabinets, this. But then we get into location. And I ask them, well, why is that important to you? Well, every single day I got to commute an hour into work every day. And then I got to commute an hour home every single night. So that's 2 hours away from my family every single day that I can't spend with my family, 2 hours wasted out of my life every single day. Boom. That's the bullet hole. The bullet holes are the true pain points as to why they're wanting to make this move in the first place that I need to be focused on solving. Yeah, right. So maybe they're like, hey, maybe they fall in love with this house. Like this house has got this tricked out kitchen and they emotionally fall in love with all the upgrades. But maybe we didn't solve the commute problem. So now, but they're like, hey, Josh, we want this house. Right now, at the end of the day, I got to do what my clients want, but it gives me a chance. It's my job to be that unemotional professional. So it gives me a chance up front of, hey, 100%. And this is a beautiful home and I'm here to support you in any way I possibly can to accomplish what you want to accomplish. I work for you. So you let me know what you want to do here. But before we move forward and put an offer in this house, I just want to have a real quick conversation because my fear is put an offer in this home, you move into this home 6 months, a year from now, you're going to regret making this decision because this home is about the same commute as your current home, and we didn't solve that commute problem. So if you move forward with this home, you're still going to have those 2 hours out of your life every single day. And my fear is 6 months, a year from now, all these beautiful upgrades are going to wear off. They're just going to become the new normal now. But because we don't solve that commute problem, that you're going to regret making this move and making this decision. Again, I will do whatever you want me to do, but I want to have this conversation up front to make sure that this is what you guys really want to do. Yeah, right. So this way I can have those conversations. So I'm going to make sure, because it's my job, it's our job, it's your job to be the unemotional professional. So the more that I know what they truly want, why they want it, why it's important to them, those true pain points that's getting them to make this move in the first place, now then I can help avoid them from making those potential mistakes. Because again, the more they really love their home. I mean, I've had clients, they're like, hey, I want these upgrades, this, and this. I call them up. I'm like, hey, remember when you said you wanted the updated kitchen, you wanted these kind of countertops? This home has none of those things. It's going to be a total remodel to have those things. But the things that can't be changed that you want this home has: bedroom count, total size, garage size, yard size, but I just map quested. This is like back in we use MapQuest, right? Just map quested the driveway to the parking garage during your work time. 8-minute drive to work every single morning, 8-minute drive home every single evening. It's going to save you 52 minutes out of your back, give you 52 minutes back of your life every evening, 52 minutes back of your life every single morning. Let's test this out. I know you get our work at 5 o'clock. Let's meet there at 5:08 tonight in the driveway. Yeah, right. So this allows me to then just identify what are those true core root problems that our potential clients, or that are not potential clients, are having, that we can truly go out there and solve with them. And then, like I said, at the end of the day, if they're so like, oh no, hey, I'll sacrifice the commute because this home's so beautiful, my wife's so happy, or my family's so happy, checks all these other boxes, okay, fine. But at least we were able to have that conversation up front to be able to minimize that regret, and do everything that we can to reduce that buyer's remorse. So here's what I do is I spend a lot of time, 30, 40 minutes with them up front through what I call it my dream home form of just identifying, what they want, why they want it, why it's important to them. I ask them a ton of questions of, follow-up questions. Well, why is that important to you? Well, I want this. Okay, great. And why is that important to you? And then that might bring up another question of why is that important to them? And this is why I apologize up front. I'm going to ask them a lot of questions, but I make sure that they know up front. I pre-frame it that, hey, in order for me to serve and support you with accomplishing your real estate goals at the highest level, it's absolutely imperative that I have extreme clarity on what you want, why you want it, why it's important to you, so I can do the best job possible to go out there and help you find exactly what it is that you're looking for. Yeah, right. So I explain this to him so that way I'm not annoying them. But then from there, okay, every property I'm showing them, I have that on file. I'm always re-referencing that. Then every time I show them a property, right, I have them do a quick survey on it. So we kind of grade the property, rate the property, but that cross-reference it, with their overall dream home form. So we can always identify, again, making sure we're on the right track of what is most important to them. So this is how I found, then we got to execute, right? So we got to execute on, doing these things, with that. But this is how I go out there and reduce, if not completely remove, because my goal is to completely remove it. Now, maybe I have that conversation with them. They're like, oh no, we still want it. Okay, cool. Then maybe they have buyer's remorse, but that's now on them, right? I did the best that I possibly could to have that upfront conversation to minimize, to reduce that. I'm not going to say you're going to be able to eliminate all altogether, all completely, but I want to do the best that I can with removing that, with reducing that, so then I have happy, ecstatic clients that I truly solve those pain points. Because if you look at sales, whether it's buying a house or a car or anything, it's all pain and pleasure. People are experiencing a current pain with their current situation. So with real estate, they're experiencing a current pain with their current living situation. They want out of that pain. They want to get to pleasure. Well, I need to know the pains that they're experiencing, and then and why they're experiencing those pains, and the pleasure that they want to experience, and then do my best job that I can to get them from that pain to that pleasure. What I love about real estate is we're not actually selling a physical product, right? Like the real estate's not ours. People are already sold the fact they want to buy and sell real estate. It's the American dream. They already know they want to buy and sell real estate. So what am I selling them on? I'm selling them on the fact that I'm the best guide to get you from point A to point B, from that pain to that pleasure. And when we nail that, not only does that allow us to serve and support them better, but I'm telling you, by doing that in the consultation, people feel heard. They feel you're truly listening to their concerns. They're truly listening to their needs. Yeah, right. It's going to articulate your value at a higher level as to why they should choose you as well. So you're going to convert a hell of a lot more buyer consultations by doing this as well into customers and into clients. Then we want to serve and support our clients at the highest possible level. Because again, I want to do everything I can to eliminate or at least greatly minimize the amount of buyer's remorse that people have, out there, when it comes to this. So anyway, I hope that this is helpful. I know that this might sound, kind of simplistic, but dude, I've had so many conversations with so many people in this industry, and I see very, very few, such a small percentage, taking this serious and actually putting a focus on this. So that's why I want to create a podcast on this here today. So I hope that this is helpful. Again, if you want to learn more about a potential partnership with me and what possible partnering with me at EXP looks like, there's going to be a link below where you can schedule a 100% confidential, 100% zero pressure Zoom call with me personally. It's going to be you and I, where I can walk you through everything that we do, how we work, how we operate, all the coaching, support, access, tools, resources, all the stuff that we give you 100% for free, and how we can possibly support you in growing your business at a much higher level and accomplishing your goals. And if that's something you want to take advantage of, there's going to be a link below for you to go out there and schedule that. Again, it's going to be you and me for a quick 30-minute Zoom call. And like I said, everything I do is 100% zero pressure. So you won't be recruited, won't be pushed, won't be pressured. It gives you a chance to have a conversation, answer any questions that you have in that call. If you feel it's a better overall fit to help you accomplish your goals, great. If not, that's okay too. So I hope that this was helpful. Keep crushing it, guys. And we will talk to you next time. Peace.